tech job pays a lot of money, at least in this current scenario, right? Leaving that and focusing on the company is really hard when there is a steady, stable job, high paying job is there, ready to take you, absorb you. And there's another route where you have to struggle to make, your ends meet is really hard.
Welcome back to another installment of the NextGen Case Study series. On today's episode, we have Soundar Natarajan, who is the founder and CEO of Perma Technologies, a company that specializes in data analytics, AI, and customer development services. Under his leadership, Perma Technologies has grown to provide innovative technology solutions to both private and public sectors, enhancing data-driven decision-making processes for their clients, which is why we're excited to have him on the show. Soundar, welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, Devin. Thanks for having me on this show. It's really a delight to be part of this show, and looking forward to our discussion.
Yeah, the pleasure's all mine. I'm really excited to get into things here. Before we do, let's start with just a quick couple of minutes on your background, who you are, where you came from, and how you landed as the CEO of Perma Technologies.
Yeah, sure. I did my undergrad back in India. I did my computer science undergrad. After graduating, I joined a technology consulting company, one of the largest companies in India called Wipro. I joined them. I've been in the IT industry for 20 plus years, worked as a developer and various different roles within the company. So while I was in India, I was working for the client Sony Music. So I was, 5 years into the job, and one of the person left the company in Sony Music. I was reporting to him. So they wanted me to come over to New York. So it was like a big change from India to New York. So in 2009, I moved from India to New York for this job. That's how I came in to the US. And after that, I always wanted to do something, leaving my family behind, my friends and everything. I had a, decent job, decent paying job. But I wanted to come here to do something, not just doing work, but also I wanted to do more than that. That's one of the reasons that I started the company. So after that, after coming over here, I changed a bunch of jobs. My last job was at Scholastic. I was managing the engineering and quality assurance team for them. And after that, COVID happened. I got laid off, and I was also doing some side gigs that I got through my friends and network. So I thought, why not take this as an opportunity and actually build a company? So I've been focusing entirely on the business from 2021. It's been 4 years approximately now. So yeah, we're seeing good growth. For the last 3 years, we grew by 70 to 80%, and this year we grew by 100. We are targeting to reach 100% growth. So yeah, super excited for what's coming up, and we have a really strong pipeline as well. So looking forward to the end of the year and also the next year as well.
Incredibly ambitious goals to 100% your business. That's a really excellent milestone. And given the history and how short you've grown as fast as you have, I don't doubt that you're on track to reach those goals. When it comes to kind of running things and starting up a business, I'm sure that it's a much different experience from working inside of some like another business. I wonder if you could maybe share with me some of the um, things that you kind of picked up along the way when you were making that transition from employee to being the employer.
Yeah, I mean, I so in 2011, right? I started a company in 2011, like a retail company. That's when Amazon opened up. Anyone can start their own store in Amazon.
Hmm.
Um, so I purchased some products from India, and I moved it over here, and I was like, why should I start a store in Amazon? I should have my own store. Uh, and why should I promote my store on Amazon? I should have my own branding, own thing, right? So I tried to do that, but didn't go well at that point. That's one of the learning things, that's one of the learnings that I had to go through during that process. Don't see a competitor as a competitor, but look them as like how you can partner with them instead of like seeing it as a competition. Um, I realized it only after a couple of years later. I had to close it down. I couldn't spend more money. But after that, I tried to build a software, like a tech software that could help quality engineers to automatically test their website. That I ran into another problem where I couldn't scale up, mainly because of the funding and various other reasons as well. Like I need some help with the technology debt, but that also failed. And then back in 2017, my wife was like, "You're not spending any more money on building a startup, right? So do whatever you want, but do not quit your job." So that made me to focus on things like where I can leverage my network. So I went to Cornell for my master's MBA. So through that, I got a lot of connections. A lot of people were starting their own company and they needed technology help to build a simple website or mobile app. So that's when I started getting small gigs here and there. I started helping out my friends. I did that after work. And in 2020, when I got laid off, it was like a perfect transition. Like I had 3 projects already in my hand, so why not, invest my full time into this and see what it happens. There was already some revenue was generating. It was not it wasn't a lot, but there was some revenue generating. So that enabled me to take that risk again. So that's how I transitioned. And after, being laid off, so I started focusing on the company and trying to build the company.
You are very resilient. I can't imagine the number of times where you came very close to packing it up and wanting to just quit. What drove you to keep pursuing it, to see it through to the end?
Yeah, there are many reasons, but one of the important reason is moving to this country, right? So growing up in India, I had my friends, a lot of friends, and a lot of family members as well, and I was making comfortable money. There's no reason for me to move here. But since I got an opportunity, and my mom was like, why don't you stay back and be with us? Be close to us. But it's like this opportunity is there. Why not I go grab it and see what else I can do? I'm not going to be there just doing a regular job. I want to do something big to make it worth it for moving to another country. That's one of the main driving factor to do something bigger than what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
And there are other various reasons. I got, going through the MBA school, I got, influenced with a lot of other friends, friends doing bigger things as well. Like most of them were starting their own company during that process. So I got inspired as well. Why not try again? Of course, I failed twice, but I can try again to see what happens.
Yeah, when I love the frame of, it's not necessarily that it was a failure so much as it was, maybe just a really, really hard lesson to learn that, you need something. There was something there that was missing. And so for you to go out and pursue that thing that was missing and then solve that problem and then jump right back in, that takes a certain level of bravery. And I know that in the early stages of building that company, I'm sure you're wearing a lot of hats because, some part of it is fulfillment. Another part of it is you trying to find new people to serve. You need new customers, you need new clients. How did you strike a balance between those two things to get to the level that you're at right now while you were kind of building things?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great question. So initially, it was all through my network. I got projects through my network, but eventually it ran out, right?
Hmm.
But I went back to the clients and asking for referrals. I got really good referrals through our existing clients. So like 70 to 80% of our clients, they always refer to another business. Hey, my friend is looking for a website or a mobile app or a cloud solution, something like that. But after that, we invested into marketing, LinkedIn marketing, and also email marketing. So those two are being a predominant source of new leads. And for the last 2 years, going to events has been great, building a great pipeline for us. So right now we are targeting to get enterprise clients. Um, so I go to a lot of events, meet with potential buyers, and introduce our company and follow up with them. That's been our main source of lead now. So far, most of our clients are small and medium-sized business. Now we are trying to target enterprise clients. Hopefully, we get something by this end of the year or next year.
Yeah, enterprise is um, a really big project to aim at. Just given the nature of, stepping into an ecosystem where there are so many people that are going to use the thing that you create to solve a problem that they have. So as you're kind of pursuing this, I picked up on the multiple um, inbound pipelines, or well, some of them outbound, but just the multiple pipelines, I guess, of different avenues that you explore to find customers. How do you what's your approach to picking and choosing and defining what works and what doesn't work in terms of that whole client acquisition process?
Um, we just focus on the technology instead of the vertical or domain, right? So we
Oh,
just focus on technology. How these are the technologies that we are experts in. So target those technology like custom app development or something in ERP or Salesforce like that. Or recently, we are getting a lot of traction in data analytics, data engineering, and AI. Um, so focusing on the technology instead of the verticals is what we are doing now. So my thought process is, I worked in entertainment industry, I worked in publishing industry, media industry.
hmm.
Over there, I didn't see, a major difference unless it's related to compliance. Other than that, right, it's technology. If you can make it work, application in one vertical, you can do the same thing on other verticals as well,
Right. So
right?
having a focus on the product itself and aiming at the type of people that would deploy that tool seems to be kind of the idea behind it all.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And also, I think I missed to say one more thing. I've been active on LinkedIn, on social media, trying to post, frequently, and trying to see leads or get leads through the social media platform as well. I see there's a change in trend. There's been a lot of influencers coming into the industry and promoting themselves, which is another way to get leads as well. So recently started. It's been like 4 months being active on LinkedIn. So hopefully we get something through that as well.
Right. So having all these multiple pipelines, does that pose a challenge in terms of kind of sifting through the leads and qualifying people and determining what's a good fit and what's not?
It does gives me a challenge, mainly because I'm not from a sales background, and we don't have a sales in-house sales team.
Okay.
So I'm doing most of the sales call, and innately I'm an introvert. Most of the time, for the last 20 years, sitting behind the computer, talking to the computer, not to an actual human, right?
Right.
So I'll be probably the biggest introvert that you might see, right? So breaking that shell was really hard. I'm still trying actually, coming out of your shell and going out and meeting people and interacting with them and building relationship is a big hurdle for me. But when you have to do it, you have to do it. There's no other choice. You have
Right.
to push yourself and be put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, and get things and make it happen, right?
And so, in doing all of this, being so close to the action, as it were, what do you specifically look for to kind of figure out whether or not, what you're doing is working or not working?
A great example, a couple of years back, we tried LinkedIn marketing, where you kind of LinkedIn email. There's a feature called in LinkedIn email. So
Yeah.
we tried that, and we tried it for 6 months. We did get some leads through that, but none of them closed, right? So we tried it for 6 to 8 months. We did burn some cash, but I realized that it's not taking me anywhere. Whereas the other source of marketing is getting us some leads, and we are seeing closures. So I compared the data on between these two strategies, and I realized that this is not working for us. Maybe we are missing something. We're not doing it right, or this is not our customers are. So I had to cut that out and come up with a new strategy on how we can find new leads.
So we've
So the
talked a
data
little.
data talked us. Yeah.
Right, yeah, the data helps big time. And we've touched on some of the stuff that maybe didn't necessarily work or posed a bit of a challenge, but what are some of the wins? What did you find really worked well for you?
In terms of, can you be a little specific?
With the pipelines. So you have, maybe you were doing email marketing, or maybe you were doing social media or content. Out of all of the things that you did, where was your what was your major win where you found some real success and something that you built actually clicked?
So initially, the email marketing worked. Email marketing works with small business, really, really micro and small business, I would say, where you get really small gigs, like building a WordPress site or something like that, WordPress site or building a mobile app.
Right.
When it comes to bigger projects, big size tickets, meeting them in person, it's actually works. Going to the right events, matters, and meeting the right people, following up with them, getting their email and following up with them actually will land you eventually will land you in bigger items, bigger ticket items.
So it's that one-to-one networking, working with individual people, having real conversations. That's where you really started to see some of the success in your efforts.
Not just meeting them in person and following up over an email, but actually building a relationship matters. They should actually make them feel comfortable, and also not just about business, more than that, right? That's how you can build relationship. It's not like you meet someone and then tomorrow they're gonna give you a business. It doesn't work like that. I've not seen that. It takes time to build a relationship. Once they build trust and you have a relationship, you will have eventually you'll get a project to work on.
Yeah, that part is difficult because it's hard to scale individual relationship building, and so I see how it can um, be super beneficial, but also a bit of a challenge in terms of being consistent. Um, you know, we're kind of coming up to the end of our time together here, Soundar, and you've been very generous with your time and your wisdom here, and there's a lot of really great insight that you've shared. To kind of wrap things up, I'd like to kind of peer into the future and maybe see if there are any new things that you see coming down the pipeline that you're kind of excited about, any goals for Perma that you're working towards aside from the enterprise stuff. What's in store on the horizon for the work that you're doing?
So when I started this year, 2024, I had two goals. One of them is to double our revenue. Another goal is to get one enterprise client. We have reached one of the goals. Another goal, I'm still working on it. Hopefully, we get that goal accomplished before the end of the year, or at least early part of next year. That's what I'm hoping for.
Excellent. Yeah, great milestones to aim at. Some of them very big and ambitious, but the work that you're doing, it's evident that you have the capability to and motivation given how resilient you've been in your pursuit of all of this. In closing, I wonder if you could um, imagine somebody that's in a similar position to you who's working on building their business. Is there a piece of advice that you could offer them to help them stay on track and keep working towards their success?
Um, the success, I didn't see success immediately. It took a while. The first 2 years was horrible. Making very little money. Then, the tech job pays a lot of money, at least in this current scenario, right? leaving that and focusing on the company is really hard when there's a steady, stable job, high paying job is there, ready to take you, absorb you. And there's another route where you have to struggle to make, your ends meet is really hard. The first couple of years was really hard for me to manage family, my wife as well, everything. And staying at it helped me, and going back to the clients, knocking on the door, frequently, or um, every month or every week or every 3 months, going back to them, asking for, what has changed and how I can help them. Being resilient, like you mentioned, helped me a lot. They may not have the project immediately, but they will have something eventually. And once you know the buyer, once you identify the buyer, so keep reaching out to them, and until you get a no, there's no no, right? You can always reach back to them, and circle back frequently, and check on in with them, and meet them in person sometimes, to see what's going on.
Yeah, the pursuit of creating something for yourself versus that security and comfort of staying in a position at a company where you're getting paid good enough to not have to leave. That's a tough decision, but at the end of the day, Soundar, was it worth it?
Absolutely, I love it. I enjoy every moment of it. Um, you know, uh, it gives me a purpose. Growing up back in India, I was part of. I don't know if we have the time, but so growing up, when I was in college, I was helped part of a community organization, NGO. We helped them to raise funds for the needy kids, including food, shelter, and also clothing, everything else. I was part of the organization. I always wanted to do that. I was always, somebody will refer us, hey, go to this person. This person has money, and he's interested to donate, help out a charity. So why don't you contact them and get money, raise the money for the kids, right? So I've been doing that when I was in college. But when I got the job, one of my friends told me, it's like, why not you be in the other side of the river, right? Why don't you be in that position where you can decide which charity to donate and which people you want to help, right? That changed my perspective. So I want to be in that position where I can help other people, not just, needy kids, but also other entrepreneurs, how they can succeed and how they can grow their company.
That's such a refreshing perspective to have. I'm very happy that you shared that to know that it's one thing to be a part of it, but that it's another to be the catalyst of that support for the people that really need it. And so uh really, really, really admirable that you take that position and that's part of the work that you're doing. Uh Soundar, if somebody wanted to reach out to you to work with you or pick your brain further, what's the best way for them to do that?
We can reach out me on my email, Soundar, SOUNDAR, @thepermatech.com, ThePermatech.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn as well.
Beautiful. We'll make sure to link to both of those in the show notes for anybody that's watching and listening who wants to reach out to you. And if you wanted to get in touch with me and my team for any of your marketing needs, you can visit nextgengrowth.com. Otherwise, that's it for this episode, and I will see you in the next.